You know, life is a great gift. And when the soul comes into this world and has this life in front of it, it's given something to help it, to guide it through this life. And that something is called a mind. You know, the mind allows us to avoid problems, to avoid dangers, to grow up safely. It allows us to understand the world around us. The mind is very good at doing many things. And because of that, sometimes we don't really understand the true use of the mind, the true nature of the mind. And that is really to understand ourselves, not so much the world, but who we are. Until there's self-understanding, the mind can be a problem sometimes, because sometimes we over-identify with how we're feeling. How does the mind feel? What's presenting itself to us at this moment in time? We need a clearer map of what this mind is about. We need to understand that the mind is a gift and the mind is a tool. But to be able to use the mind as a tool, we have to rise above it. You know, it's like having a knife, and the knife can cut things really well. The knife is a very skillful instrument. But you know something? The knife can never cut itself. The mind, understand this, the mind can never understand itself. And so sometimes we get trapped in what the mind is doing, what the mind is thinking. What we need to do is to find a different tool that allows us to understand that nature of the mind. And that tool is really this ideal of witnessing consciousness, the identification not with the future or the past, but the present moment that you exist in. I call it the view from the top of the mountain, to sit and to watch your life, to watch each thought move by and let it go, and to watch it, to bless it, to have compassion for that time you're in. Otherwise, what happens if we misunderstand what the mind is for, we misuse it. The mind is good at several things very well. It helps to analyze things. It helps to understand what's different from this, and useful tool. But one thing the mind cannot do, it cannot give you an understanding of who you are. You can't think this out. You can't analyze this out. You have to have a different nature of the mind to use that most of us have not been trained to do. And that training is really what the meditation process is about. In your life, let's take an example of what the mind is like, how I see it. You're riding in a car. You're riding in a car, and you really want to get somewhere. You're hoping you're going to get somewhere in this car, or your life, or whatever it may be, but you're going. And guess who's driving that car? The mind. You're a passenger. You are a passenger in that car. The mind is driving it. The mind has its own agenda. The mind is trapped in its own cycle of thoughts. The mind can never get out and say, hey, take this car to somewhere else, because the mind is in its own game of just spinning out. So if you're a passenger in a car where the mind's in charge, you're not going to get where you want to go. The destination you want to go is where your soul wants to lead you. And to reach that destination, you have to be able to manage the driver, manage the mind that's driving the car. And we do that in meditation by certain techniques, mantra, breathwork, observation, sitting quietly. So many ways we can give ourselves a chance to use the mind, but you have to have a map to do that. If you can understand how the mind works, just like you can understand how the body works, you'd be a lot healthier. And we don't really have any systems for most of us in our culture to say, this is what your mind is doing. We just feel it, we react to it. But to understand what the mind is doing is to be able to be with it, but not be involved with it. To be compassionate to it, but not be passionate with it. And the way we can do this is really through the skillful practice of meditation. Meditation begins understanding the complex nature of your mind. The yogis have mapped this out for hundreds of years. They know how the mind works in ways that most of us have never really quite thought of it. The fact that you have 3 functional minds, negative, positive, neutral. The fact that you have 3 impersonal minds, sensory perception, the intellectual discernment, the ego-driven reactions. You know, all this is going on. Very complex. All these things are reacting. But if we don't have an understanding of how this is going on, we will never be able to manage the mind. There'll never be a sense of being in charge. There is a way to do this. It's been mapped out for many, many years. And the beautiful thing about this mapping is, once you understand how to do the map of the mind, you can understand the techniques you need to do to meditate. Yes, you can sit quietly. The thoughts will come up. You can watch them. But what if you could do a meditation that was exactly for the nature of your own mind, your individual nature of your mind, how it's working for you. If you can understand that, then you can select, you can use, you can have a meditation that addresses that particular unique quality of your mind. And that's why I love this course we teach called Mind and Meditation. Yes, it's understanding your mind, it's understanding the process of meditation, but ultimately it's understanding what you need in your own meditation practice to make you successful in becoming the master of your mind. So please come join me, Mind and Meditation.